The biggest questions the Simpsons still haven't answered. Hey guys, welcome back to Laffy Tunes. The Simpsons doesn't shy away from subverting the usual continuity rules of TV shows, which is both a good and a bad thing for fans. On one hand, it gives the sitcom freedom to tell stories that are outside of the box. On the other hand, it leaves a lot of loose strings and unanswered questions. In this video, we take a look at the biggest unanswered questions in the show's history. Stay tuned. Locations of Springfield. One of the best running gags on The Simpsons is the Springfield's mysterious locations. It's a hotly debated topic among fans, and several theories have come and gone over the years. The show makes several references to the town's locations, with most of them being nonsensical or impossible. At one point, the sitcom reveals that it shares borders with 3 completely separate states. Some fans believe that it's most likely located in Oregon, which would make sense considering that's where creator Matt Groening is from. Until the show's creator confirmed where Springfield actually is, though fans can only speculate and deduce based on evidence from the series. Mr. Burns' age. A detail fans won't miss about Mr. Burns is that he's really old. The show highlights his old age in a comedic way, most notably with his outdated use of the phrase from 1800s, ahoy hoy! There has been a ton of conflicting information from the series about his exact age. His date of birth was initially thought to be 1881, which was later disregarded and changed to 1890. There's also a flashback that places him in 1909 as a young boy, and 2 different episodes that state he is 81 and then 104. Whether an intentional running gag or an issue with continuity, Mr. Burns' age keeps, unlike his siblings, invention mysterious disappearance. Herb seems to be a special case on Homer's side of the family, as he isn't affected by the Simpsons' gene. He becomes a successful businessman and inventor. When Herb made the mistakes of allowing Homer to meddle with his business, he loses everything and has to start from scratch to rebuild his fortune. He comes up with the baby translator, which does exactly what it sounds like. This is an invention that could potentially change the way all families around the world interact with their infants. But it strangely disappears from the show. There is no mentions of where Herb's translator is, and no one else in Springfield seems to be using it. Lisa and Colin's breakup. Fans take whatever wins Lisa can get when it comes to her chaotic love life. Her relationship with Colin from the Simpsons movie is a remarkable one, as they seem to be perfect for each other. Colin is introduced as an intelligent character who has the same passions for protecting the environment as Lisa does. They quickly fall for each other, and Lisa is obviously happy with him. Audiences see glimpses of Colin in a few episodes after the movie, but Lisa never acknowledges him. While it could just be the show returning to the status quo of Lisa not having any friends or successful relationships, it still raises an unanswered questions about what went wrong between the two of them. Fat Tony's real name. Fat Tony has been around since the earliest seasons of the show, and he's unquestionably a fan favorite. However, one crucial detail of his character has remained a mystery throughout the years, as no one is sure what his real name is. He's been introduced as William Williams, Antonio D'Amico, and even Insane Clown Poppy on the show. This doesn't even take into account the whole fiasco with Fit Tony. Of course, this could all be some elaborate plan to conceal his identity for his own safety, but it could just be as easily as a consistency issue. The Simpsons lifestyle. Homer has tried to make money in a variety of different ways, having had a number of odd jobs and ridiculous schemes throughout the series. Marge has also had various jobs, but nothing steady or long-term. This means that Homer's role as a safety inspector at Mr. Burns' power plant is Simpsons' only source of secure income. A closer look at the family's expenses reveals that it doesn't make sense that they are able to afford their lifestyle on just Homer's mid-level role. They often travel and spend a lot on their trip, and are constantly paying the price for mishap that happens around the house. There's no clear explanations of how they manage to pay off for these activities, as Homer's salary alone is certainly not enough to cover everything. Why does Apu's family age? Most viewers know that growing up in Springfield is impossible, as everyone's age is suspended with a time lock. Everyone except for Apu's family. While Bart, Lisa, and Maggie stays in the same grade levels and never age a day, fans sees Apu children grow from infants into toddlers. The most jarring evidence of this is Apu's nephew Jay, who randomly appears in Springfield as a grown man. Fans may recall seeing him as a young boy from the episode Homer the Heretic, which implies he has continued aging off-screen since then. Does this mean Apu's children and nephews can somehow avoid the time lock? If so, why does nobody else notice? And what makes their family different from the rest? We don't have a clue. Marge's fear of flying. The episode Fear of Flying focuses on Marge's irrational phobia around airplanes. She goes to a therapist and discovers a memory where she finds out her father was never actually a pilot, but he was a flight attendant. She works hard to overcome her fear, only for her next flight to land in a lake. However, she doesn't seem to have any trouble boarding planes in any other episodes that involves flying. Both before and after Fear of Flying, the one-off storyline is completely ignored by the show. There's a prevailing theory in the fandom that explains this anomaly by saying the episodes aren't in order, but this hasn't stopped some viewers from thinking it might just be a sitcom's disregard for continuity. That brings us to the end of another great video. Hope you enjoyed this one. Thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next video.